was it for you in the beginning when you first read Dean and Ray's script that appealed?
I mean, exactly that. Like, it was making a comment on the class divide within Britain. I don't think it's on the nose. I hope it's not. Like, it's an action film. It's a genre film. It's a survival thriller, but it's got something important to say, I think. And I think like the big thing that really appealed to me was like this idea that these are two sides of a coin. Like these two gangs that we're talking about, and you've got the aristocracy with their sense of entitlement, but when you're talking about entitlement, it's also about what you don't believe you're entitled to, and I think that's what I tried to portray with the kids as well. They feel like they are victims of where they're born in the same way that the aristocracy are the beneficiaries of where they were born and the bloodline that they were born into. So to be able to sort of tell those two sides of that story in the guise of a survival thriller was just really appealing.
Now it's an all-action film running all across England's green and pleasant land. What for you, when you were looking on the page, were the biggest challenges and you're proud to have overcome as far as what we got on screen now?
I mean, there's no doubt the biggest challenges were the dogs. There is no such thing as film-trained hounds. They just do what they want to do, and you've got to hope it's kind of on camera and kind of in the way you need them to do it. There was a lot of tempting them with ham and bacon and things like that, and genuinely just throwing food in the direction you needed them to go. So that was definitely a challenge. I mean, the thing I'm really, really proud of is obviously the performances. I think that, and that's not on me, that's on the actors, but I just think they give it heart. And you don't care about these guys unless you buy into them, and they nailed it. And that's, for me, that's the best thing about it.
Yeah, and there's some new faces for us to see in this film. So what was your casting like for the four main roles?
Well, we were very fortunate. I'd worked with Malachi before as an editor on a film he'd been in, and Ben had worked with Hannah before, who plays Vix. And so we immediately thought of those for the roles, and when they said they wanted to do it, I mean, we had auditions, but they knocked it out of the park. So those two were really easy, and actually they're probably, for me, the most important roles in the film. And then it was, in terms of casting the other roles, it was very much like getting tapes in, and we did a couple of callbacks, and we eventually got it down to Ross and Junior, who do an amazing job of filling out our gang. And then obviously with the aristocracy, in terms of casting, you're looking for people who you will believe in those roles, but also will relish those roles. And I think Samantha Bond, I think you can tell she really, really enjoys that role. And James Lance had a whale of a time as well. I think we offered them something that sometimes they don't quite get to do. And it's to be a little bit absurd, but that was the point.
Yeah, so I was going to say, so what was your conversation like with James about the scene at the farmhouse when they're penned in?
We talked about how he's lived a life behaving how he's been told to behave, and when his sister isn't watching, he can behave how he wants to behave. And it was James's idea to come up with the little tune. And then the minute he offered it up, I was like, yeah, it's great, let's do it. It's mad, but I'd rather take a big swing and maybe miss than not take that swing in the first place.
No, it's beautifully absurd, beautifully.
Yeah.
Now, this may be a bit too existential coming straight off your premiere, but obviously you've edited a lot of films. And in what way did being an editor inform your debut feature film as a director?
I think it's just because the bottom line was we made it on a limited budget with a limited schedule, and it's just knowing when you've got the scene, and knowing what you don't need, as much as anything, to be honest. Obviously, having done 10 years of feature film editing now, you see what gets left behind and you see what you leave out, and I feel like the benefit of me having done that is that a lot of the time somebody might offer me an idea, and it's not that I'm trying to dismiss that idea. If it was better than what we had, then yes, it went in, but sometimes they're offering it because it's just something extra, and on the day you just need to be able to go, we've already done the scene, it's covered, let's move on, because our schedule's tight.
Ben, what for you is, as obviously with the tight budget in mind, what for you becomes I'm guessing quite the logistical film. What's a fond memory from the shoot for you?
Well, talking about logistics, the very first, and something I always try and do, is try and find a key location that you can then build around. And I think from our side, we managed to go out and hunt around London area. We didn't want to go too far away because it's always difficult for actors. You know, they don't want to necessarily travel too far away from their homes. And we found an incredible location in Markyate, around St Albans, and we just went off from there. We managed probably 70% of our locations around there, and then anything else like trying to find the pub around the corner. Made friends with the bar, and she came tonight to watch the premiere. You know, with some of the patrons, and yeah, everything like that. Just make sure that can happen.
Now, it's not often that I'm speaking to people post the premiere. Usually, it's the nervous pre-film. So you join us straight after it. How was the premiere at FrightFest for you?
I mean, amazing. I'm not just saying this because they put my film on. I mean, that screen in the Prince Charles is my favourite place to watch a movie, and the very first film I've ever made played there with people who paid to see it. It was just, incredibly positive feeling, to be honest. I'm over the moon. I'm made up.
Well, look, thanks for joining us on FrightFest TV.
Right, thank you.